All right, all right. Thank you so much for coming out to the relaunch of the TBowley Lounge right here on YouTube. We have been on and off the air over the years on blogtalkradio.com and thought that we would start to utilize YouTube. We'll utilize YouTube to start our relaunch. So thank you for joining us. Be sure to hit the like button as well as subscribe to this channel. And be sure to share with your friends that we're back out here providing intellectual conversation for African Americans about politics and society. So I thought I'd start the relaunch with a speech I had given to a local speech making group here. And so, without further ado, here is my speech. The title of my speech is The Legal Implications of January 6th. Today, I am speaking with you about what happened January 6, 2021, the legal implications of this event, as well as my hope for the future of our country. I watched the entire terrorist attack on our Capitol building last week during the certification of the election of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as president and vice president, respectively. Like everyone else, while I was shocked, I was not surprised. What was shocking was the lack of police support at the Capitol and how only one police officer out of hundreds of Capitol Police was willing to use lethal force to protect the leaders of our country from being attacked as they were assigned to do, especially after we completed a summer of lethal force being used by police on African American people who were executed just for living. I was greatly appalled. While the country watched in real time and each hour ticked by, our Capitol building was being destroyed and defiled. People inside were being assaulted and battered, and one police officer ultimately murdered while our congressional representatives and senators hid for their lives, including my dear childhood friend, Congresswoman Lucy McBath. I was anxious for it all to stop, but it went on and on for hours. It only stopped when the terrorists had to leave to catch their flights back home to their jobs and their families, which, as absurd as that was, they were allowed to do. Being a first year law student has exposed my mind to the tremendous legal implications of January 6, 2021. This event is causing a major legal entanglement. In considering the crimes that should be charged, I will discuss the theory of felony murder and why each terrorist that was inside of the Capitol building during the attack, as well as every elected official that encouraged them to do so, and as it turns out, planned for them to do so, should be charged with this crime that holds a penalty of up to 20 years. I want to apologize right now for anyone that is an attorney or works in the legal field and will know certainly that my following legal perspective will fall short of what is considered proper legal doctrine. I have another 3.5 years of law school and three difficult exams to pass to become an attorney. So I'm a long way from truly knowing the rule of law. But until then, here is my novice law school analysis. There are a host of co-conspirators, as well as aiders and abettors that work together to execute a myriad of felonies the day of the terrorist attack. The felonies range from burglary, larceny, assault, battery, sedition, seditious conspiracy, and yes, murder. Each terrorist that was inside the Capitol building, including all the cooperative partners, including the political novices, police, staff members, congressmen, as well as senators, oh, and of course, the President of the United States, all cooperating together and all working together to plan and implement that attack. Felony murder is when a death occurs during the commission of an inherently dangerous felony by an individual or a group of co conspirators. When an entire group is working together to commit a felony and and someone outside of that group dies during the commission of that felony, every member of that group would be charged with that death as a first degree murder. This is called felony murder, and this is the felony murder rule. Everyone that participated in that terrorist attack of the Capitol building should be charged with felony murder and receive the maximum sentence of 20 years. The felony murder charges would be in addition to all of the other charges of the felony crimes that were committed as a group that day. Group criminality and liability means that when one person of a group commits a crime, every member of that entire group gets charged with that crime as well. As weak as the initial US legal reaction to this 9/11 level terrorist attack was, Tuesday, the US attorney restored my hope in our justice system by announcing that he had assembled a team of prosecutors to pursue charges for hundreds of identified defendants, including the charge of felony murder. What happened January 6th is an ugly monster that was born at the end of slavery, ignored and dismissed for almost 16 decades, and finally exploded at the Capitol building last week. Those that thought it was funny and exciting to have a television reality star stick it to society and express all of their racist and xenophobic fears were shocked into disbelief that all of their big, oppressive, hurtful talk splashed up upon them. Their threats and acts of killing and pilfering, which murdered minorities for hundreds of years, now is turning inward on themselves, which is what hatred always does. Despite the extensive privilege of the majority and the systematic oppression of minorities, our legal framework is working to save our country. Walking through this legal struggle together will make us a stronger, more inclusive, and fair nation. Hey, I appreciate y'all for coming out to the relaunch of the TBowley Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me. And let me tell you something. We're going to be out here on a regular basis. So check me out next week, okay? And listen, be sure to hit subscribe and tell all of your friends that the TBowley Lounge is back in the house. I want you to be up in our mix, okay? I love you. You have a great week. God bless.